Welcome, mortals, to another episode of Integrated Dice Management presents Houston After Dark. I am your storyteller tonight, Ron Bjork, as I am basically every night. And with me is a limited crew tonight. We've got Frank.
Hi, I was Frank. Nice to see you.
He was Frank. Now he is something completely different.
Who knows?
Not sure what yet. And we also had Hayden, or have Hayden.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people did have a Hayden, usually girls though. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting night because the two of us have completely opposite storylines going on right now.
Well, I already have a plan to merge them.
Sweet.
So we don't have Bill tonight. He had some family stuff going on, and Jaden, I guess you could say, also had some family stuff going on. And he's still wallowing in newlywed bliss, I guess. So
Bullshit.
He's busy.
I think he already got his pictures back from his wedding, which is very surprising.
That's what he says, yeah.
A friend of mine didn't get their pictures back for like an entire year, and they were pissed.
Also, Craig, he's
Hi,
probably
Craig.
still listening to us, but he doesn't speak anymore.
Is he even
Because
in the voice?
He betrayed.
He's not
He
in the
betrayed
voice
us.
chat.
He's not.
I just disconnected from Discord.
So we open. The camera pans down onto Cole. What kind of car do you now drive? Do you still drive that same clunker that you drove in the first episode?
I would like to think that with the very slight increase in money, that he would have put more money towards getting it fixed up.
You got a decent increase in money.
Yeah. Like
although
a whole...
it's only been a few days since payday.
Yeah, so I probably took a large portion of that, and since I don't have to pay for like housing and shit, I probably took a large portion of that and gave it to a guy to get it just the general like really fucked up shit. Like I don't have to start it with a screwdriver anymore.
Nice, nice.
And it kind of runs a little better, but it's still like backfiring.
So we hear the rumbling and backfiring of the car as it drives down mostly deserted streets, and you see in the distance up the road the blue and red, yes, the blue and reds of police cars parked outside of a house that you know to be your destination for tonight. Your
God damn it.
good friend Maxwell apparently killed a dude and wants
Supposedly.
you to wipe all of the footage of that. So there are obviously cops on scene, and there's just one. Yeah, there's just one cop car, and you see a pair of cops, like on the front doorstep, talking with a sobbing woman. What do you do? You're far enough away that they definitely wouldn't have taken notice of you driving down the street yet.
They didn't hear me backfiring down the street.
Maybe they glance in your direction and see a crappy car coming down the street. But I mean, it's a neighborhood, and it's not like this is a middle class neighborhood, but it's not like you're extremely out of place. Yeah. The serial killer wasn't a rich man.
I forgot that I was coming here.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I would be bringing my vehicle to a murder scene.
And so realizing that, perhaps you go and park, a couple blocks away or something once you see the cop cars.
Yeah. I forgot that's what we were doing. So I park a good ways away, couple streets over. I don't know. Do I have a grasp on my magical abilities at this point? Or not magical, my supernatural abilities?
You definitely... the only ability that you wouldn't have a grasp on is the one that I just added today that you don't, know anything
quite
about
understand yet.
but you do have your unseen passage ability, which allows you to move around while staying invisible. That was something you bought at some point a while back.
Hold
Possibly,
on.
yeah.
Looking for my abilities at the moment.
So if you go to your bio, just the bio and info tab, I copy pasted all of your disciplines with their descriptions. So now you've got the full description of them. So unseen passage, the vampire
I
can
thought
now
there was a way
move
to look
around.
at it from your discipline, though.
The problem is the discipline is just that little tiny text
Oh yeah, the details.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
But
Dumb.
you've got both Cloak of Shadows and Unseen Passage. Cloak of Shadows is free, but you can't move. Unseen Passage allows you to move while staying invisible, but you have to make a rouse check if you want to do that.
Subtly applying influence of bleeding or ambient shadows. The user masks their appearance or seems more sinister. And then
Yeah, that
lethal
one's
body,
Shadow
cloak of shadow. I also have shadow cloak.
Yes.
Can I use shadow cloak, cloak of shadows, and unseen passage all at the same time?
I mean, Unseen Passage basically cancels out Cloak of Shadows because you're fully invisible. You're invisible while moving, so it's basically the same power, except one of them lets you move, one of them doesn't.
Oh, then why do I have both of these then?
Because you started with Cloak of Shadows and then you bought Unseen Passage later.
Oh, is that like
Unseen
a step
Passage
up from it?
is a step up, yeah.
Okay, I got
I
you.
guess I could put the levels. Yeah, I didn't put the levels in here. Not that that's super important to using the power, but yeah. So, I mean, you can straight up go invisible and head on over there.
Only mechanical or supernatural means can detect them. Those obfuscate the effect lasts until user moves or they are detected by other means. So actually, only if I'm standing still does Cloak of Shadows work.
Yes, but Unseen Passage lets you move.
But Shadow Cloak says subtly apply the influence of oblivion or ambient shadows. The user masks their appearance. What does it mean by mask their appearance? Like, do I look like a just deeper shadow, or do I look like a clown and then like a cop?
It just makes you appear more sinister and threatening.
Well, it says
It makes
masks
you.
your appearance or seems more sinister and threatening. It's one or the other.
Oh.
Is that not right? Am I not reading that
Yeah,
right?
no, you're reading it right. Let's see.
It says vampire gains a 2 dice bonus to stealth rolls as well as intimidation versus mortals.
Let's see here. I think basically it would conceal your appearance, but it's not going to make you look like someone else. I think if it was like allowing you to like straight up disguise yourself, it would specify that.
So I look like a darker shadow in a group of shadows
Yeah.
while I'm moving, and then once I stop moving, I kind of disappear.
Not
With
with
Cloak of
Shadow
Shadows.
Cloak. Yeah, with Cloak
Right,
of
but with
Shadows,
Cloak
you're
of Shadows.
invisible. Cloak of Shadows, you're invisible while standing still.
Can I do like Shadow Cloak and Cloak of Shadows kind of at the same time then? Because
You
one does the
can.
shadow thing, and the other thing does invisible while standing still.
Yes, or you could just use Unseen Passage and be invisible while moving.
While staying hidden, these is functionally invisible per the usual off-screen limitation. One rouse check system as long as the user emits no overpowering odors and no sound louder than whispers. This power likely works. Observer has their attention drawn to the user can make the detection roll. Unseen suspects one can also detect the hidden vampires from useless being actively observed. So, I would like to do both.
Okay. Cloak of Shadows and Unseen Passage.
Well, I guess all three.
Or Cloak of Shadows, or Unseen Passage and Shadow Cloak.
All three, I guess. Because, like, I would like to think Shadow Cloak is just a step down from Cloak of Shadows. So using both in conjunction, I could be a immaterial like shadow,
Basically, yeah.
and
Plus,
then
using
Unseen
Shadow Cloak
Passage,
gives you
a +2 to
+2
stealth
bonus
mod.
on stealth rolls. Yeah,
Yeah, and then Unseen Passage, it costs a rouse check. It lasts one scene, but move around while staying hidden. The user is functionally invisible per the usual obfuscate limitations. But down there it says the user cannot use this power to disappear while being actively observed. If automatically fails in such a case. So in if using all three stacked on top of each other, like if I do something that makes a noise that makes me observable or whatever, it would just be like a shadow moved away from a falling can or something.
yeah.
So I would like to do all three on top of each other.
I'm just reading the.
In which case, I need to do what,
Okay.
one rouse check?
One thing I think you would know. So obfuscate does not help you against electronic surveillance. It's just because you're not technically invisible. It is a mental invisibility. Like they simply can't
Right.
see you. So, but yeah. All right. So what are you doing?
But the Oblivion powers do work on
Yes.
electronic.
Yes,
Okay.
because they are, for lack of a better word, physically concealing you with shadow.
So Shadow Cloak is under Oblivion, but
Yeah.
Cloak of Shadow is under Obfuscate, so is used Unseen Passage.
Yes.
So on video, I would just
Of
appear
Oblivion.
as a dark shadow moving around, whereas all three used together would be. Okay, yeah, that works. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. If we can do just all three of it.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. In such case, I park a few streets down, and I just stack all three of those on top of each other.
All right. So you just need one rouse check.
Cool. Let me get back up to the top. Character sheet. Go down to wherever the fuck rouse is at. Rituals, hunger, resonance, remorse,
It's at the
rouse.
very bottom.
rouse.
Yeah.
No, is there so much?
You do get hungrier.
I am now at 2 bumps of hunger.
Yes.
I probably would have actually drank something before I left, so...
You were already at 1 hunger, so...
So would I be at 2 hunger now?
Yes, because the lowest you can go without killing somebody is 1.
Oh, god darn it. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So now I'm at 2 hunger, but I am practically invisible.
Yes, you are very difficult to detect at the moment.
Yes. Okay, cool. So I would probably just... I wanted to use the word shimmy, but that's not the right word. Creep? Creep, that's the right word.
Okay.
A shadow shimmies up to the cops to listen in on the conversation.
Is that what you're doing? You're going to go listen to the conversation?
Well, I would probably scout to see, how many cops are there and see if I can't get a preliminary idea of what's been done so far.
Okay. Give me a investigation plus wits.
Okay. Investigation plus wits. I don't know how witty I am. I'm kind of witty.
2 successes. Okay, so yeah, you are, basically invisible, so I'm not going to worry about stealth rolls unless you do something that might make too much sound. But, your base stealth is already 2 stealth and 3 dexterity, so you're already base stealth 5, dice worth of stealthy, and then you've got a +2 right now. Plus you're invisible. So I don't think, unless you do something crazy, they're hearing you. So yeah, right now they are discussing with the
quick question.
Yeah.
How did I somehow wind up building a rogue in a non D&D game?
That's what you ended up doing. Yeah, you're a rogue / hacker.
Yep. Okay, sorry.
So yeah, they are. That basically right now what they're doing is just kind of talking to the wife about what's going to happen next. That they're like, we assure you, ma'am, we are going to look into this.
Well, I would have
find...
scouted the scene first and then got up and listened to him.
Okay, so are you going to look at the garage? Oh, you're just looking around for more cops.
Yeah, like seeing where everybody's at and what everybody's doing, and see if like there's any evidence that I need to gather away from them
So
that they haven't gathered yet.
Inside the garage, you do see someone kind of moving around in there. That there is already crime scene tape on the door to the garage. The car door is open right now. Someone is kind of like investigating the car itself. The trunk is open, and there's a guy in not a officer's uniform, but you imagine he's probably a what do they call those people?
Detective
CSI.
forensics.
No, a forensics CSI type person. And he's like digging around in the trunk at the moment, and he's got like, I don't know, a black light or something. Who knows?
The door's open.
The big garage door is open. Yeah, you can see that the body is not there, but there is, and I don't know if they actually do this in real life, but there's that chalk line drawn around where the body fell. And
the forensic specialist is here.
He is currently digging in the trunk of the car. Yeah,
but the body is not here.
The body has been removed. Yeah.
So the coroner's had enough time to get there. Pronounce time of death and bag it.
I think you're right. The body would probably still be there because he called you right after he left.
Yeah. How far away would I have been?
Not that far. I didn't decide where this was. Maybe a 20-minute drive. You imagine more people will probably start showing up. Like these two cops are obviously the first ones to arrive, and then maybe there is a maybe this like tech just
forensic specialist got here that quickly.
Maybe he just happened to be nearby or something. You don't know why he'd be here so fast, but you got 3 people on scene plus the wife.
Okay.
You hear a dog barking inside the main house.
All right. What do I got to roll to like investigate the garage for anything? Preliminary.
Go ahead and do a stealth roll, just to see if you make any sound.
Okay.
So it'll be stealth plus dexterity, and then give yourself a modifier of 2.
+2. All right. Submit. Oh, that's the wrong button.
That is a massive...
That's wrong. That is wrong.
Okay,
that is completely wrong.
I don't know what that is. That's a lot of dice.
I pressed 21 instead of 2.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Stealth plus agility. Oh, God. Stamina, charisma, manipulation. Dexterity. That's right. Yeah. +2, not 21. Only 3 successes.
Okay. So the guy continues digging around. You are able to go in. Do you go left around the car or right around the car?
Where's the car parked? Is it on the left side of the garage or the right side of the garage?
I guess.
Or is it the middle?
I
feel like he would have parked on the left.
Yeah, it's more on the left, but it's
this is inside the garage, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is inside the garage.
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember last time when we were discussing this, he parked away from the door because we were having that whole conversation.
Yeah, I guess you would be pushed. No, you would be pushed. You're parked as far to the left as possible, probably, so that you had space to work over on the right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I probably wouldn't run the risk of squeezing on the left side because I'm sure there's probably shells with shit on it over there.
Yeah.
I don't want to run the risk of knocking that shit off. I'd probably go right and try to avoid the plastic to make less noise.
So to your right, you find, and I'll say the chalk outline is around the guy, but he's still laying on the ground. You find the body of a man who has had his head shot by a bullet, point blank. And I don't know if maybe there's some damage to his hand as well because the gun was shot out of his hand. The body is on the ground. It is long since stopped bleeding. Although if you're feeling peckish, that blood is still good to you. Um, and and standing next to the body, you see a shadow, and you've seen these before, but you've never seen them stay. They always are like there and then they're gone. But this is a humanoid shape standing next to the body, and and by next to the body I mean it's cast onto the wall next to the body.
Mm-hmm.
And while this is a 2D featureless shadow, other than it's vaguely humanoid, you get the sense that it is staring down at the body in front of it.
Oh shit. Okay.
How does Cole react to seeing one of these things, and more importantly, to seeing it and it not, um, uh, you know, just vanishing like they always do?
So like, did he hear the voices when he
Yeah.
saw the body?
They kind of you kind of started hearing the voice like as you came around the whispers as you came through the door, and then you saw the shadow there.
Yeah, the whispers. Sorry.
Yeah.
Does it seem like the shadows are whispering, or the shadow is whispering, or is it just
It was
a
just
background?
kind of background ambient whispering around you for a moment, and then you notice the shadow.
Gotcha. So I would probably just freeze and lock up for a second and stare at this thing.
Okay, I want you to roll. This is just going to be difficulty 1, but roll frenzy. This could be a fear frenzy.
Frenzy down there at the bottom.
Yeah,
Frenzy.
and it should ask for a difficulty.
It says modifier.
No modifiers.
Okay.
I mean, you should
Difficulty
pass
1?
this, but on the off chance that you don't, yeah, you pass it, no problem.
What is it rolling?
Frenzy it's a mix of like your willpower and humanity or something like that. I can't remember
okay.
exactly how it works. Maybe
I'm set then.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly how it works, but
6, 7. I've got 7 little bumps of humanity, plus my wits is
Yes.
pretty high.
it's something like I'd have to look up the exact rules of frenzy, but
Yeah. Anyways, sorry. So yeah, I lock up for a second, and my brain shuts down in like fear process overload, but it just comes back.
and then of course nothing. The shadow just stares. Nothing happens. It doesn't seem to have acknowledged you.
I creep forward a little towards the shadow.
Yeah, it still doesn't acknowledge you. You you get close. You can see like you just get the feeling that this thing is staring down, and maybe you like in your nervousness you kind of instinctually take in a breath, like a deep breath. Maybe you close your eyes for a second and open them back up. And when you do close your eyes, you feel something stir inside you that you've not felt before. The whispers kind of increase for a second, and then you feel like maybe the whispers do go silent from this. Like, I can't really just figure out how to describe it. Like, maybe you like suck something in, the whispers go silent, and when you open your eyes, there's not a shadow there anymore. It's still shadowy, but it looks much more human, and vaguely resembles the guy on the ground. Like, it's like a shadowy version of him.
Okay, so
also,
can
it was if you glance outside, you can see perfectly in the dark.
What?
The Oblivion sight also lets you see perfectly in the dark.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. So let me try for a little better description.
Yeah, go for it.
So I walk up. The whispers are going, and then I look over. I see the shadow, and the whispers like stop, and I freeze up for a half second, with like fear, my mind just shuts down, and then it reboots. I close my eyes and I take a deep breath, trying to recenter myself. And as I do so, I feel a coldness kind
Okay.
of come over me. And I open my eyes, and the shadow has shifted from just a plain shadow to a more humanoid shape.
It's
I
more
w-
than just humanoid. You
oh, it
definitely can
actually looks like him.
recognize it as him. It's just
Okay.
a shadowy version of him.
Okay.
Like it's like you're looking. I mean, it's like you're looking at him through, similar to like what you look like in the mirror now. It's like a blurry version of him, a blurry dark version of him.
Um, should I roll another frenzy on this? Because I'm pretty sure that would freak me out even more.
Yeah, let's do it again and call it difficulty 2 now.
Okay.
Okay. It was harder this time, both in the fact that you only got 3 successes and the difficulty was 1 higher.
Yeah. So I probably like take a quick inhale, like a almost a gasp, but I'm trying to be quiet as possible.
Yeah.
And like freeze and just stare at
And
it.
when you gasp, this time, and this isn't exactly how the power works, but I don't care. This time the shadow looks up at you in in confusion. It doesn't speak. It doesn't say anything. It just stares. It's looking at you now.
It's staring directly at me.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. I start backing away slowly.
It gestures, kind of like gestures in alarm. And and like tries to wave you back towards it.
I continue to back away, like back towards the wall a little,
Yeah.
like
You,
imagining the layout of the room. If I came in through the garage doors and like circled to the right, there's probably like filing cabinet, like table with like tools and things, and then maybe the knife, a bloody knife or whatever, on top of it. So I'd back towards the table slash cabinet.
okay. Oh, just for FYI purposes. So a frenzy roll is your willpower plus 1/3 of your humanity rounded down
Okay.
versus whatever difficulty. So yeah, having high willpower and high humanity make it easier to resist frenzy.
Cool.
Anyway, yeah, you back away. The shadow person tries to like take a step towards you, and it doesn't move. It seems tethered to the body next to it. Like it would be like seeing a 2D image try and take a step forward, but it goes nowhere. And then it looks down in confusion.
Can I touch it?
I thought you moved away from it.
I did, but like it's not doing anything. It's just standing there.
So you can try to touch it.
All right. I creep back forwards slowly, and reach my hand out towards the guy, or the guy.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't think it allowed you to. The new power doesn't allow you to make physical contact with ghosts, but definitely you feel a coldness, and it watches your hand come towards you and doesn't move out of the way when you kind of like basically what you feel is the wall, because this is still a 2D image that you're looking that it is this shadow ghost, whatever it is functions like a shadow, so it's on the wall.
Okay. Does he do anything? He just watches me wave my hand through him.
He kind of looks disappointed that you couldn't touch him, and it kind of mouths something at you.
What do I have to
Let me
roll to
think.
read his
Yeah,
lips?
I think maybe.
I am not good with people at all, so
It would have to be probably like a insight plus wits. Yeah, we'll go insight plus wits. So just
I'm not
wits. Yeah,
insightful at all.
yeah, yeah. You don't know what it's trying to say.
Like, if I whisper, is anything louder than a whisper? Right on the power list.
I think so. Yeah, you can whisper.
Okay, all right. I try whispering to him. Targenflog. What's
Target flog.
Targenflog?
Oh, that's what you thought he
I'm
said.
yeah.
Actually, you know what? This tech dude would. That's 2 successes, even with 4 dice. Because I was gonna think this. Well, he's probably not sound aware, but 2 successes.
I mean, my stealth was a 3.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
The ghost looks confused, and then it kind of points down at itself, and mouths one word. Give me another roll.
It's insight plus wits.
Yeah. So just wits for you. You can always rouse 2 successes. It says so. The word it's mouthing is help, like help, and it's pointing at itself.
This guy is definitely dead, right?
He's got a bullet hole in his forehead. So yeah, you would assume he's dead,
I'm wondering if
and blood
I
is
could
no longer
give...
pumping out.
Okay, I was thinking like I could try to give him some of my blood to see if it
Uh,
works. But I'm pretty sure he's
hasn't
been
been-
dead too long, and he's got a
Well,
bullet in his
no.
head.
He hasn't been dead that long. It does have to be pretty soon after.
He's been dead for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah. Let's see. Just see if anyone. What's the max amount of time? Okay, yeah, it says about 5 minutes. So
Oh yeah, no, he's
Nah.
fucking gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I could try it, but it wouldn't
Yeah.
do anything. I probably wouldn't want to leave blood on the scene,
Yeah.
anyways.
And to be fair, Max didn't explain to you like why he killed this guy, other than he said he deserved it.
Yeah.
yeah,
To be honest,
Yeah.
I just said the
mean-
guy deserved it. Knowing
like
Max,
how
what-
much
what-
do I trust Max?
Yeah, that's the thing
to
I'm
not just go
wondering is
murder somebody.
Right.
that's the thing I'm
See,
wondering is
like
what was the
off in
thing that
traffic.
went through your mind of when Max was like he deserved it and I murdered him.
I mean, we're not like super close friends, but we're like vampire buds.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, he's kind of going through some shit right now, anyways. I would probably like take a picture of the body.
Okay.
That was what that roll was earlier. The the technology plus whatever the fuck it was.
Okay. Yeah, 2 successes. You're good.
Yeah. So I would probably like pull out my phone and take a picture of the body in the shadow, or the ghost like creature thing.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't show up in the picture at all.
I turn the phone around and show it to the ghost. I'm just gonna say ghost right now, but I honestly have no idea. It's just the best description I have for this thing.
Yeah. It looks at the camera and looks confused. Mouths, a bunch of stuff. Too much for you to, roll for. Like it's basically just gone into like a rant or something. And it's motioning down in its body. It motions. I feel like it It's trying to
Communicate
do a
something.
motion to say just minding my own business, and then it does a puts a finger gun to its head and blows out it, pretends to blow out its brain.
Oh, that fucking liar.
I whisper to it, dead how?
Points down at its body and then does the gun thing again, and then points at its head. Or no, that might imply that it committed suicide. How would you motion that? How would you do a motion that someone else shot you?
Okay, so he would probably like point to himself, point down at the ground, and then like maybe like standing there like whistling, and then like hold up one finger and then point to the door, and then do like a walking hand,
Yeah,
like
okay, that works.
over your hand, and then make a little path to where he was, and then like point to
Then
the
the
hand
gun
with the little
thing,
walking
yeah.
fingers, and then the gun thing.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna roll for him.
Yeah, if he rolls low, like he'd just be like finger gun face.
No, I'm rolling for his persuasion.
Oh.
Six. That is 4 successes.
Damn, this guy's
Pretty
very
persuasive.
Do I need to counter roll him?
Yeah,
something?
I think. Let's see.
Perception.
Unfortunately, that would be
plus...
no. It would be an insight roll.
Oh God, yeah, he's
Yeah,
fucking.
wits plus insight. I'll give you because Max said the guy deserved it. Maybe I'll give you a +1 to that because you're more inclined to believe Max.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna 3 successes.
3 successes. You are doubting what Max said. Not like seriously, but you're like, wait, this guy says he was. I think this guy's saying he was just minding his own business and Max came in and killed him. Like, that doesn't seem right.
So I'm not crazy. Like I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy.
Yeah. It doesn't sound right. Yeah.
I'm over here pantomiming to a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. A ghost
like-
which can see you while you're invisible. I didn't really think of that, but I've decided yes, it sees you while you're invisible.
Okay. So I'm not crazy, but this is a really fucking crazy situation. I'm gonna chalk this up to I haven't slept enough.
Yeah. Now you do know you're also there to get camera footage, so like you could find
That
the
is
answer.
true. I point to him and then I like do like a pantomime of like a camera, like holding up a thing to my face and then doing the little circle like a movie thing if
Yeah.
you're doing charades.
Right.
And then I shrug my shoulders and look around.
He points towards the like garage door, the regular door, but like more towards the like upper corner.
Okay, I look there. Do I see anything?
You see nothing inside.
Inside what?
Inside the garage.
Oh, he's probably pointing to the camera outside then.
Yeah.
I do like a little clicky finger on a keyboard type of thing, and then do a shrug.
I don't know what that means, but I guess you're trying to see if he has a computer.
Yeah.
He shakes his head. No.
I draw a cloud with my fingers.
Thinks about that and then points at the camera, nodding his head.
Okay, I need to go inside.
Oh wait,
and
no,
look for that.
no, that. I think I determined. No, yeah, no. You were able to attempt to hack into it, and he had a good firewall.
Yeah, I had to go to the base, like his, like I need to find his like laptop, his phone, or whatever,
Yeah.
and go from that direction.
You hear the tech dude walk out of the room, And you hear him like saying to the cops, he's like, "Well, there's nothing in the trunk. I guess next we're gonna have to search the garage or search the house." And then he gets out of range for you to hear what he's saying.
Okay, so what am I have to roll to like quickly like rummage through this garage for any clues?
So you can do investigation plus I'll let you do intelligence this time because you've got a little bit of time while this guy's talking.
Yeah.
Three
Three
successes. You can rouse and possibly get hungry or tad 2 bonus dice. You can also spend a point of willpower to re-roll those 2 failed regular dice.
I'm gonna
If
do
you
a
want
rouse.
to rouse, okay, you don't get hungrier, so go ahead and just roll 2d10. One more success, so 4 successes. All right, so you're looking around. You like quietly open the freezer and see a bunch of what you
Meat.
might assume is ground beef, except it's definitely stuff that he's bagged himself. It's not in like those packages. It's in like I don't know, homemade sausage packets.
Is it like Ziploc bags or is it like
Let's
freezer
say
wrap?
they're like Ziplocs. There's also
I grab one and I open and I sniff it.
there's also a half-eaten bag of pizza rolls.
I take those and put it in my pocket.
It's okay, and then I guess the ground meat smells like meat. I mean,
It doesn't smell peculiar in any way.
I don't know what's. You gotta
If
make me Google
anything,
what human flesh smells like.
Human flesh tastes like pork, apparently.
But I doubt it smells like pork.
Aiden knows this from experience.
I will look it up. Make my NSA guy
Oh, I've
nervous.
already done it.
What does
I don't want to know what burning flesh smells like.
NSA man
Well, the
taste
burning
like?
flesh smells like pork, apparently. Oh, burning muscle smells like beef in a frying pan. Body fat smells like pork.
Interesting.
But what does raw human flesh smell like? What does
Raw ground human flesh.
I know, that's the problem. That's probably not something we're even going to find.
Google does not have that answer.
I mean,
And your
maybe
FBI agent's looking a little closer at your financials.
Yeah, maybe it would just smell like raw ground pork, but it's like
Even to
unseasoned.
my vampiric like senses.
Do you taste it? Like put your tongue to it.
Sure. I
If you
can't
put
like
your-
get.
I mean, you can't get
Samphila.
sick. Yeah, you can't
No.
get sick. So
Yeah, when you put your tongue to it. Now you've not tasted animal blood, but it does taste like human blood.
I look back at where the ghost was. He's still there.
He's still there. He's kind of like got his arms crossed and is like looking away from you.
I put the meat back in the freezer and walk back over to him, and I point at the freezer and I look back at him with like a disappointed father would look at a child.
He pantomimes he points, you know what, I'm just gonna do a convenience thing. He points at because I feel like this could totally be in his man cave of a garage, because that's what this is. He points at a deer, head that's mounted on the garage, and then like shrugs.
I look at the deer head, I look back at him, and I'm like,
the deepest of
Now, with your 3 successes or 4 successes, I'll say you get to continue your investigation. You're going around, and you at one point you notice like the ghost react like like a no type of reaction until you look directly over at him, and then he like acts casual when you pass by a certain shelf with like some boxes and stuff.
I
Oh, it's his treasury.
I start opening the boxes.
So as you're digging around, you find a hidden camera, with a little would it be connected directly to a computer?
And it depends on if it's like a webcam or if it's like a. I mean, if you're looking for like really good video, or it depends on if you want just really shitty video.
I'm thinking it's probably directly connected. So you find a camera with a wire coming off of it, and the ghost is flipping out, but you're ignoring him now because you're following this wire down. You got to move some boxes to get to it, but there is a small laptop, very basic laptop. Definitely not something you would use for gaming or video editing or anything like that, but perfectly capable of being a hard drive for a video camera.
I mean, I'm guessing it's like turned on and open, yeah?
Yeah, I guess it would have to be. And it's, you see like the room, because it's a live feed and it is recording.
Do I find a charger as well?
I guess there would be. Yeah, because this just sits back there. Yeah, it's plugged in.
All right, I double check and see if there is a password lock on the device first. And then if
there definitely is, but since it's open, you have gotten around that at the moment.
Yeah. I quickly search to see if I can find cloud data information, like his login and stuff to Ring or whatever camera system.
On this laptop, there would not be any of that information. You find lots of video files, though. The thing's almost full.
Okay, I go to the one that's the most recent.
Do you go to the one that is actively recording? Like,
Yes.
do you stop the recording?
I do stop the recording. I pull out a flash drive because I'm a computer geek and always have a flash drive on me. It's probably like a 128 gig flash drive. And I start downloading all the videos, and then I would like look at the most recent recording.
Okay. You start playing the recording. You see, like, it starts with the guy's face, and he backs away from the camera. And you see that there is, you see his car is pulled into the garage. And he goes over to the car and opens the passenger side door to the car, and you see him pull out what, at first you can't see him because he's in the way, but then you see eventually, actually no, I guess he's fiddling around for a while, and then you see him pull out a naked woman and set her in the chair.
I would stop it at this point. Go ahead and make sure that's the first thing that gets copied over.
Okay.
And then I want to
also
delete
make
that.
a awareness plus wits roll.
Awareness plus wits. Awareness plus wits. Awareness. Awareness.
It's in the same
plus
column
wits.
as investigation. Yeah.
Wits. Submit.
Okay, yeah. The tech guy is on his way back over. So you have a couple of seconds. I mean, Greg wouldn't immediately notice you, but boxes have been moved and stuff.
So I leave my USB plugged into it and let it, keep moving stuff over. But I make sure the video, the most recent video, is deleted.
Okay. Do you make a copy of that video though?
Yeah, it's on the USB. It's the first thing I move over, and then I make sure it's deleted. All
right,
and then I put everything back as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I'll say so do you put everything back, leaving your USB in there?
Yeah, the USB is in there so it can continue to download the files.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Fuck, I'm just going to take the whole thing. I'll take the laptop with me.
Okay. All right, so you take the laptop, and once you've kind of shoved it under your jacket or whatever, I guess Well, not
I
that you
don't. I
really
don't
are
close it.
bothered by the cold.
I don't
Um,
close the laptop. I leave it open,
yeah.
but I turn the screen off, and
Actually, as
then I
soon
take
as
it
you
out.
pick it up, it goes invisible. Because stuff you carry is invisible. So
Cool. All right.
I
I
don't
just,
know that you would necessarily know that.
I walk out of the garage away from the tech guy.
Yeah. Actually, you would definitely know that because you can't even see yourself. Um, yeah, you see it go invisible, and it's like, oh, sweet. Yeah, you walk out. The tech guy is looking around, and then, as you're walking to wherever you're walking, you see him say, "Guys, I found a camera," and you hear him start moving boxes and stuff.
So while that's all the videos are downloading, I'm gonna take the laptop and try to go inside the house.
Okay. The front door, the woman is like standing in front of the front door and it is closed. She's talking to the cops still. So that would be obvious. You could try a different door.
Backyard.
Yeah. Go to the back. Back, the back door is it's locked
Actually, I guess that would be the front door because we're in the back of the house right now. Yeah. Or is it the garage is on the side of the house?
on the side.
So it would be the front door no, it would be the side door that they were at then.
Well, the cops are
Well,
at the front door talking to her, kind
oh,
of like
okay. Gotcha.
door. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I go to the back door and I try the back door.
It's locked.
I just break the fucking door. I don't like kick it in. I just turn the handle until it breaks because I'm a fucking vampire and have strength.
Yeah.
Lethal body. I've got lethal body.
Yeah, I'll say you can do that.
I just want to like turn it until it breaks and open the door.
That happens. Open the door. You are probably in like the door opens into like the laundry room. The lights are off, but you can see perfectly in the dark. Maybe now you're just now noticing that. Oh, I can see perfectly.
That's fucking weird. Okay.
Yeah.
I look through the house while I still make sure the laptop is downloading the videos, but I look through the house for phones, tablets, desktop computers, things like that.
She would have her phone on her because she called the cops. He probably had his phone on him. You do eventually find a desktop computer for sure.
I take it.
You take the desktop?
Yes, and
Okay.
Is the video files done downloading from the laptop?
Yeah, it probably took like 5 minutes, but it's done.
Okay, I put the laptop down where I found the desktop, and I take the desktop computer.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, fuck it, I take the whole thing.
Okay.
And I'm gonna leave now.
Okay. And basically, you can do all that with no problem.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, as you're leaving, your hands are full right now, but you feel your phone vibrate in your pocket.
Okay, I don't check it until I like get back to the car and put everything in the car.
You get back to your car, you put in everything in your car. The cops don't notice a thing. And you check your phone, and you've got a text from Lauren the Witch. And she says, "Hey, I was going to be meeting up with Max and some of the other, some other of your vampire people to discuss magic. You going to be there?"
If you're there, I'm there.
Okay, and then she sends you. She says something like, "Okay, cool," and sends you like a dancing witch emoji or GIF.
I send back a blushing. No, I send back a broomstick.
A what?
A broomstick.
Okay. So I let like
Wait.
First episode.
I send a broomstick and then like some bells after the broomstick.
Okay. No.
Because I know she
response
knows
at the
exactly.
moment. She knows
I know
exactly
she
what
knows.
that means.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't either, but I'm assuming that this me is, or not this me, but the Cole that's me is more into the cryptography of emojis.
Yeah, and I guess she sends you the details of like the meetup.
Cool.
But So I completely forgot. Like, I don't know when I was, maybe were you not here? I don't know when Hayden decided to set up this meeting. I completely forgot that she technically only gave you her number, but time has passed, so I'm assuming she's at least gotten in contact with the other guys as well.
Oh, I never gave her number out.
Maybe she asked for the rest of the group.
In which case, yeah, I probably would have. I would have done that.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
So there, we fixed the in-game reason why Max was able to contact her. And so that's basically what you're going to move to next. You've got a desktop computer in your car, and
do I have enough time to drop this off at my place and?
You should be like a cop and be watching videos and doing reports while driving 80 miles per hour down the Houston freeways.
Well, I was gonna like take it back, see if the desktop is like encrypted, the hard drive is encrypted, and if not, then go ahead and see if I can pull the information for the.
I don't think you'd have time for
storage.
All of that. Yeah, I don't think you'd have time for all of that right now, but you'd have time to run back by your apartment. But this meetup is happening shortly, very soon.
I dropped that off, and I quickly transfer the information from the USB over to my own computer.
Okay.
A sandbox of my own computer.
Okay.
And then I bring the USB with me to the meeting.
Cool. So the meeting, we never really just designated where it was going to be. Maybe it's just at Jerry's house because Jerry's not there right now. Jerry's still in Huntsville, but nobody knows that.
Would be ironic that we're all meeting for a therapy session.
I like that. Y'all are at Jerry's place. There's plenty of room down in the therapy area. It is late at night. We've had like 4 episodes on this one night, so it's probably like 4 a.m. or something by now. But
it's getting close.
Yeah, maybe 3 a.m. So you and your sire were already there. That would be Max and Mikhail. Jerry is nowhere to be found, but you did invite his sire, Imogen, and you also invited Lauren, and you don't know that Cole's showing up. So Lauren and Imogen...
I also tried to invite Olivia, I think, but then she just kind of like not. No, I think I texted her asking her how she... I texted her asking how she was.
Yeah, how you doing? And she sent you her TikTok feed.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm too old for that shit.
She's like, I don't know, doing a weird new dance. Whatever the popular TikTok meme of.
I'm pretty sure that was during the time of bullying the furries.
Okay, I don't even know what that is.
Bullying or furries? Because I'm sure Hayden can help you understand either of those subjects.
Considering... Very good at one of those. I'll let you guess which one it is.
I'm a people person. I'm a geese goose.
Geese goose.
Oh shit! I thought I muted it. I'm sorry. That was an inner thought that came out. My apologies.
So the next person to arrive would be Imogen. She she's familiar with the place, so she shows up and walks in, looks around, and spots you, and she's like, Max, right?
I hold out my hand and I go,
yes, I am
Imogen.
Max.
Oh, is she talking to me or?
She's talking to Max.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hold out. I hold out my hand and go, yes, I am Max. I remember seeing you at the fancy hat party that we had.
Was I invited to the fancy hat party?
That was the first Elysium.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We just nobody brought hats because I forgot that it was a hat party until it was too late.
Oh well.
It says, "Oh yes, you're one of the new the ones who are all embraced on New Year's." And she
we are part of the
shakes
misfit
your
group.
hand. and then
And I-
looks over at Mikhail, who kind of nods and says, introduces himself. They don't know each other, and he says something along the lines of, I'm curious to see how this goes. I never thought I would be studying magic with a Tremere. And then, because the clans have had history.
Yeah.
And then Lauren shows up not too long after that and walks in and looks around, looks around the room and then looks at you, Max, and says, "Oh, hi, hello, hi again, hello again, Max. So, what's all this? Well, I guess I know it's about, but what's the plan tonight?"
So I made a big goof when I stopped you from making that sacrifice with that vampire. We were tasked to bring the remaining vampires back to the prince, and so I was a little zealous about that. I wanted to prove myself and followed it directly to the word, and now it looks like we might be playing into the hands of the prince by causing some major chaos. And so I'm trying to figure out how to undo this.
Okay, give me a awareness plus wits.
Awareness. Oh, there you are. Plus wits. Any modifiers?
No. Okay, Imogen,
Success.
at those words, playing into the hand of the prince, Imogen looks surprised, but says nothing.
I guess I take note of it, and I look at her and I basically say, I give her a questioning look and I say, "I'm sorry if I misspoke."
And then Cole walks in the door before she
And
gets
then
a
I-
chance to respond.
Yeah. I look at Cole and I go, "Cole, it's good to see you. What you doing here?"
Ron, did you see that?
I said you walk in the door.
Did you see what I messaged?
I think
up?
he sent
I
me
did- I
a
s-
private message.
Oh,
I did.
no, I did not see.
Like, and then moments later, you're like, and then Cole walks in the door, and I was like, the fuck? Did I just do that
I,
wrong?
Nope,
I share
didn't
my
see
screen
that.
constantly with Juan.
Nope,
All right, sorry.
Ron is
whatever.
my FBI agent.
I didn't mean to break the third wall there. Sorry, my apologies. Keep going.
No, that's fine.
I walk in
you
the
walk
door.
in before she gets a chance to answer.
Who's all here?
So it is you, Imogen, who was Bill's sire, a vampire you've never seen before, and then Max and the witch, Lauren.
I walk in, I look over at Max, and I do kind of like a subtle. Well, what do I roll to see if I do a subtle nod?
To see how subtle it is.
Yeah,
I don't know, performance plus charisma.
performance. Two things I'm terrible at. All right, let's see what happens. Hey, one
Hey,
success.
yeah, that's subtle. You pull it off.
Cool. So I look over at Max and I kind of subtly nod, and I kind of do a finger nose thing.
Like
No,
tap your
hold on.
nose.
I'm trying to think. I have information for you, but I don't know how
Oh.
to put that across.
Yeah, I think a nose
I-
tap.
Yeah.
I think a nose tap would indicate that because I previously asked you, "Hey, can you fix my maybe fuck up?"
Yeah, so I do a subtle nod and then like a nose tap, and then I kind of look off in a direction, and then I walk in that direction.
I take a glance and do I see his shitty car outside?
Yes. Well, yeah, I guess it'd be in the parking lot. I don't know what Jerry's place exactly
yeah,
looks
we
like.
don't know
but-
what the vision
Yeah.
is. Vision of field. And I go, I see him, and I go, well, I just realized I didn't invite you. I apologize about that, but this is more magic, and I don't. Are you any good at magic, Cole?
I make technology not work sometimes.
With your plan, I guess that is magic. And I look over at Imogen.
You also, I mean, this is new, but you also see dead people.
Yeah, I'm assuming that I'm just having a slight psychotic break.
Right.
Because there's no way in fucking hell that I just saw a ghost. Like, that's not a thing. I mean, yeah, I'm a vampire now, but seriously, ghosts, that's... I'm pretty sure I'm just... I need to talk to somebody about this. I'm falling into the deep end of a pool that I don't know how to get out of.
But you've probably played a lot of video games with magic in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
So it's just Imogen, Lauren, Michael, Mike. Jesus, I can never say his name.
Wait,
Mikhail.
did Max ask me if I knew magic, or was that...
Yeah, I asked you.
I thought you were asking me, not Cole me.
No, I'm asking Cole.
Okay. Cole would not have responded with "I make things not work sometimes." That was
okay.
totally a frank response. I thought, yeah. Anyways, Cole would be like, I know magic, and then I do like a shitty ass fucking like card out of nowhere trick. I say shitty. It's actually pretty cool. As like close up magic. Because I'm dorky, but Cole is even worse.
I'm
And
just-
then
I'm
like
just-
you see like this just very deranged smile on my face afterwards. It's like, see, magic.
Lauren walks over and she's like, maybe she was like, I don't know, grabbing some water or something from the probably water cooler that Jerry has for his patients.
Oh, Jerry definitely has a water cooler and coffee on tap.
And
Fucking AA meeting, bro.
yeah, and she walks over. Well, the coffee's probably like ice cold by now, but if there's any left, she walks over and she's like, "Oh, Cole, you're here," and
Imogen?
makes a move. No, Lauren, the witch.
The witch. Gotcha.
And makes a move to go towards you, but then kind of stops herself. Like just kind of that well, I don't know,
Like
she
half
like
step.
Hug.
half step towards you, but then stops.
That aborted half step.
Yeah.
I also perform an aborted half step towards her.
Okay.
I'm gonna
'cause-
roll. I'm gonna roll to see if my guy understands what the fuck that just was.
Why did I give her disciplines? I guess I was like, she's probably got stuff that works just like these.
Would that be insight plus wits?
Yeah.
Any modifier since I know
You
Since
can
I
have a +1.
kind of know them?
Yeah.
+1.
2
Two
successes.
successes.
Yeah, I mean, you picked up on it. Yeah.
That it was just fucking awkward.
That it was awkward, yeah.
Alright.
Oh, I've got so many character sheets open right now.
Dude, yeah, I have everyone that's in the group. I have
Oh, so you
character
can see,
sheet
their
open. So I have
backstories.
Cole, Max, Michael, Lauren, and Imogen.
I guess I can minimize them so I can have some space here. There we go. That is the bane of a DM is I have to have everything.
Well, I have 3 screens, and I don't use but 2 of them at a time.
I currently only have 1 screen, but
I would offer you one of these because I'm planning on upgrading soon, anyways. But I
I
haven't.
mean, if
gotten
you want to
it
bring
yet.
it over,
I mean, I would. It's a little bit of a drive.
a little bit, yeah.
36
like a week
plus
to get
ish
here.
hours. I mean, I wouldn't have to deal with snow and shit, so.
That's true. Probably. It was like 40 degrees this morning, but
Yeah, not
just
too
not
much.
snow, but there's still
Yeah.
snow on the mountains.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be driving on the mountain. I'd be driving on the road.
You do have to pass through a mountain range to get here.
No
matter which way you go, there's mountains you got to go through. Well,
sure. Okay.
no, I don't think there's a way around, because I was like, maybe if you went all the way to Canada or something, but I'm sure there's mountains that way too.
I think there's probably more mountains in that direction.
Probably.
Anyways, so back to Untask.
Yes. So I guess Lauren is like, yeah, so is... she looks at the two vampires she's never met before, Mikhail and Imogen, and it's like, so are you two...
And I look at her looking at them and I go, oh, I apologize. This is my grandsire, the sire of my sire. I just don't call him granddad. That's a little weird. And I can never pronounce his name. It's Michael, right?
Mikhail.
Mikhail.
Yeah.
Mikhail.
I'm just gonna call him Kale.
That sounds kind of Hebrew-esque. Hebrew-esque.
Mikhail. And I say, this is Mikhail. And then I look over at Imogen and I go, and this is Imogen. She is another one of the sires of the group that messed with your ritual.
Imogen looks at you and raises an eyebrow and is like, I think I'm missing some information here. Why is... Please take no offense at this, and she looks, over at her, but she says, why is this human here?
And I go, whew, Cole, this is going to be a long story. And I do a chuckle and I go, okay.
And Lauren also chuckles, and then she does like a little flourish with her hands. And I mean, I guess I should roll for this, because it would be funny if it goes wrong. What did I say her magic roll was? Magic, occult plus resolve. Okay. Lauren. Well, she doesn't look at that right now, Frank, but...
Her phone buzzes in her pocket.
Yeah.
Are you sending nudes?
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. That's a big success. That's almost entirely successes. But somehow still not a crit. She does a flourish with her hands, and like a little like whirlwind appears, above her hand, and she's like, "I'm not what you would call a normal human," and then makes it go away. And Imogen just raises an eyebrow and says, I can see that. So, you mentioned a ritual?
And I go, I think this would be best if Lauren explains it, but through our perspective we were tasked by the prince to go and find the others. And I'm like snapping my fingers and I go, what's that guy's name? We literally just rescued him. I can't remember his name.
He doesn't.
And I look over at Lauren. I'm like, the guy you had staked on the ground.
His name was Dexter Chapman.
And I say, and we.
Dexter.
That's right, Dexter. Yeah, so we found Dexter first, and Lauren said she had to do some type of ritual to make the end of the world not happen, essentially. And we were in a part of this giant circle where all this magical energy was supposed to be rushing into the vampire and kill him. That was the point of the ritual, was to kill the vampire, this specific vampire, that specifically him, due to a vision Lauren had. However, due to my desire to be obedient, I did interrupt the ritual. He escaped, We eventually got him and brought another vampire back from that was a solo vampire. And now their moon is red, and everyone's pissy. And I looked at Lauren, I'm like, did I get any of that awfully wrong?
So while you were explaining that, Lauren like glanced at her phone for a moment and then shot Cole a smile, but doesn't do anything with her phone and keeps on listening. And she says, "Yeah, you didn't. That about covers it. Yes, I had a vision. That's something that happens to me sometimes. And essentially, in my vision, parts of it were really clear, like the fact that this Dexter guy needed to be sacrificed. It was a newly created vampire named Dexter Chapman needed to be sacrificed. And I didn't even know vampires were real before this vision, but I found the guy. Conveniently, he was the friend of somebody I knew. I found him, and I had this vision shortly before New Year's Eve. So this was all very hastily done. In the vision, basically, this guy needed to be sacrificed under the full moon or something bad would happen. Vision wasn't exactly clear as to what that bad thing was. These guys, interrupted it, and it didn't work out. And now the moon is red. My coven and I have been trying to figure out a way around this. And right now, the best we can come up with is we need to. Well, we on the next full moon, we need to try again with the same guy. And then Imogen. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Imogen kind of lets out a like a breath, a long breath and or a sigh, and says, "I am familiar with the idea of rituals not going the way that was expected. My clan is actually the result of such a ritual, but killing this guy, this Dexter, that's going to be difficult. If that is what has to happen to fix this moon thing, that is going to have to be run by the prince. I don't even know where this guy is, but killing another vampire is very against the rules, as your sires should have told you. And if you go and do this without the prince's blessing, don't expect to live much longer after that."
I have a question.
And I look at Lauren and I say, yeah, we have a sheriff that will come and hunt you down and murder you, and she's very good at it.
And she looks at Lauren and says, "And honestly, I don't know if the prince found out about you, what would happen to you. I'll admit I'm curious about you. I've never met a human spellcaster, so I'm very curious about you."
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I was shot with the weird green magic laser thing.
Yes.
Do we ever figure out what that did to me?
No, you haven't really looked into it, but you've been hearing voices. And all of a sudden you can see ghosts.
Also true. Okay. I was like,
You should probably ask your witch friend.
yeah, I don't want to butt into the conversation though.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of standing awkwardly off to the side a little bit.
And I say, okay, let's round back to the whole, it has to be this vampire. We're not even sure if we kill him doing the ritual, that it's even going to work. What type of ritual were you doing? And I guess we need the details of that ritual to find out.
So she nods and says, essentially, Go ahead.
I have another question.
Yeah.
What could we do to make this vampire guy no longer protected by the prince?
Is that Cole asking?
That's
Or
Cole? That's Cole asking.
Mikhail speaks up and he says, well, you would need to get him on the bad side of the prince. He'd need to break some laws, basically essentially get if a blood hunt was called on him, you could do whatever you wanted to him.
Okay. Can I get a list of those laws so we can see if we could make
you
him
already
break the laws?
you get, and I no,
You actually,
Max doesn't know that,
I
but
will-
I know Hayden knows that you have that list. You're
Hold on.
given it to by the butler of the prince.
Was
Yeah,
I given
but
a copy?
You were.
He
I've
texted
gotta-
it to
I've
you.
got to find them
Or he emailed of it.
in my handouts just so you can, glance at them. But yeah, you have a PDF of them.
Okay, cool.
In character. Where the hell did I put those laws? I'll have to find it, but
I'm just thinking that might be the easiest way to get around the whole prince protection thing.
Mikhail nods and says, "That's not a bad idea. But what has this man done to deserve death?"
I mean, he hasn't done anything per se, but the ritual was supposed to stop the blood moon from occurring, and we fucked up, and now the blood moon is here. So, if we go about this a little more legally, we wouldn't have to worry so much about getting on the prince's bad side, and we
I
can
speak
solve
up and
the
I-
issue with the blood moon.
And I say, I'm not looking to kill this vampire. I'm looking at how to reverse what happened. I know, Lauren, you had the vision, and it had to be this way to the vision. But since that timeline, that potential timeline, is now non-existent, I assume these visions just happen randomly. They happen on their own accord. However, I'm wondering if there's a new way that we can go about to rectify this. There has to be.
Yeah, she says,
Because-
I haven't had any new visions since then, so I don't know. And you're right. I don't know if just redoing the same thing will fix anything.
But it's worth a shot.
And I turn to Imogen and I say, I turn to Imogen Mikhail and I say, since the two of you are much more versed in magic, in vampire magics, and I say, no offense, Lauren, but vampire magic, is there anything that comes to your minds about anything that might assist in any of this?
Let me do some rolls for them both. And she will have a +2 or +1 because she does have a specialty in blood magic. Only 2 successes. She's going to go ahead and spend a willpower. She's going to rouse and spend a willpower because it's an important thing to think about. Her blood potency. Okay. First, let's do this. 2 more successes, and why not spend a willpower while I'm at it? Because she's an NPC. 1 more success. So that is a total of 5 successes for her. And then for Mikhail, one success. So Mikhail basically shakes his head and he's like, oops, I closed the sheet. He says, in truth, I don't know how much use I will be in this situation. My knowledge of blood magic is focused primarily on what I can do to find my next target. I'm not exactly what you call a scholar.
I look at Lauren and I say, Does Granddad give you any vibes of Batman?
Lauren's like, well, I mean, I barely know him. So far, all I know is he doesn't know anything about magic. Imogen is lost in thought for a moment, and she says, "Well, this is beyond my specific knowledge, but I do know there have been rituals, which can essentially create simulacrons. That's the word, yeah. Simulacrons of vampires, which are, to put it in layman's terms, sort of like clones. The clones are usually not very intelligent, but genetically they share a lot of the same DNA. They're almost identical to their creator. Perhaps that's a route we could go down. Perhaps we could create
I look at
a version of him.
and I look at Lauren and I say, This is Hayden about to enter some Hayden's, just belief system. And I say, I was raised LDS or Mormon, and
So Max
we
was
believe
too.
Max was too.
Okay.
Am I hearing
And
this
I
too?
say, yes, you're hearing this. And I say, and we believe we have souls. I don't know if I have a soul anymore. The common vampire theology is that I no longer have a soul since I am dead. But I am here.
Are we dead though?
There's no blood, there's no pulse, and man has blood. I don't have blood. Kind of, sort of. Anyways, a lot of theology. And I say, I don't think it was necessarily as important to kill him as it was to destroy his soul. Is that correct?
So Lauren shakes her head. No, actually, I don't think so. Not that I dabble in such things very often, but in magic, there is a large difference between the soul and the body. This ritual was to destroy his body. I would have had to do a lot different things if I was trying to destroy or capture or anything like that, do anything to his soul.
So wait, are you saying there is a soul?
I believe there is. There's something that comes out of me when I project myself. There's definitely
There's a consciousness of some.
There's definitely some sort of afterlife. There are spirits and things like that, and what goes beyond that, I couldn't tell you. There's definitely a barrier that at least I've never tried to cross that barrier, but there is a barrier that you can only go so far into the spirit world before you hit that barrier. I haven't traveled even beyond just seeing the dead, but even that, you're dipping your toe into whatever is beyond life and death.
Okay.
But most of what the sacrifice that I was performing was to destroy his life force, but not his soul. I wasn't after his soul.
Okay.
I'm not even sure a soul can actually be destroyed. It might be able to. I know you can capture them, Again,
I
this
know
isn't stuff
in
I've ever done, but
in my theology you can't. So souls are eternal. But I don't know. This is, and I go back to Imogen and I say, so there is a ritual to create clones, and I look at Mikhail and I say, would that be a transgression of any sort that would cause issues to murder a clone? And I
uh,
emphasize murder.
yeah. So Mikhail thinks about that as well, and he says, "Well, I've seen some of the things that the Tremere have created. Uh, I've never seen this simulacrum, whatever it's called that she's talking
Simulacrum.
about, simulacrum. I mean, he probably mispronounced it. Um, but I've seen their gargoyles, and certainly I'd have no qualms killing those. And I know they're made from blood." And Imogen just kind of like uh, uh, snorts at that, and she's like, "We don't make those anymore. The ones that are left, they're left over from a long time ago." But he's not wrong. The gargoyles, well, the gargoyles can sometimes have intelligence, but more often than not, they're mindless. They're simply following a set of instructions.
I say, so what does that ritual need to create a clone? I assume we need either his blood, some sort of
We
him.
we definitely need his blood for sure. Beyond that, I've never done it, and I don't know anyone
Do
who has. But there are those in the Chantry, I'm sure, who have done it.
and I look at Lauren. Do we still have the stake? There surely would be blood on that.
Um, Lauren, she's like, we do still have the stake. I don't have it with me, but
Of course, that would be a little concerning if you did, and I and I make a chuckle.
she also chuckles. She's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that."
You're coming to a meeting of a bunch of vampires and you didn't bring a wooden stake with you?
She she glances around the room, and says, "You know, well," and she's saying this to Cole, and she says, "Well, I trust you, and also, to be honest, I'm not. I think I have something that could give you guys a little bit of a problem. So, if I needed to,
Okay. I just want to make sure you're
I mean, I've already
protected.
fought one of your kind, and that wasn't super difficult.
I mean, you shot me with a green laser and I nearly
I'm not
died.
talking about
so-
you. I'm not talking about
Oh
you.
no, I'm saying
She-
if I'm weak enough that you can hit me with whatever weird green laser that was and I almost died from it, like I'm sure you can protect yourself. I was just saying, a
And
backup like wooden stake might be
and
not be a bad idea.
I look at Mikhail, and I say, on super badass Mikhail to weak Maxwell, where does Olivia fall into
Olivia
that?
is on the same. Well, would be the same generation as Tiv. But she definitely doesn't seem like she was necessarily. Well, she does have some of the speedy powers. Um, let me take a look at Olivia real quick just to refresh me on what she does.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to how Mikhail would respond to that.
Well, Mikhail also doesn't know who the heck she's talking about.
Oh, damn.
Olivia
I look at
is definitely very fast. She's got some knife skills. specialty in knives. But then the rest of her stuff is definitely more
Freaky
of the
teenagers.
social. Mikhail doesn't look. Well, he certainly doesn't look perturbed by what she said. But I mean, he's not going to give anything away.
Yeah, and I say, well, Lauren, I do appreciate, once again, I really do appreciate you showing up and trusting a room full of vampires. And I do appreciate that that we're willing to all work together, right? And I look at Imogen and Mikhail.
And Imogen, Mikhail says, I'll help you in whatever way I can, but like I said, I'm not a blood mage. I know specific rituals to aid in my craft. Imogen says, well, I mean, this blood moon is causing all sorts of problems. I'm hesitant to, I'm not going to kill Dexter, if that's what it comes to, without the prince's blessing.
Understandable.
And Mikhail says, and I'm not going to kill him unless he deserves it. And Lauren says, actually, if one of you want to try to bite me, I kind of want to see if this works.
I squint my eyes and I'm like,
I mean, you don't have to, but
I'm at 3 hunger. Would that
no, she's not
stir something within me?
It definitely stirs something within you. And her innocence is probably questionable. She was willing to kill. I mean, granted, it was a vampire, but she was willing to kill a dude.
What do I need to roll to how much of a temptation that was? I guess.
You could do
straight up, someone's
you could do a
who
frenzy.
might be
You could do a frenzy
might be-
difficulty one.
okay. Any modifiers?
No, just difficulty 1, and only reason I'm making you do it is because of the blood moon. Yeah, you're good. You feel it. You feel the beast. The beast is interested.
And I go, I'm curious to what it is, but I just don't feed to feed. I feed for a purpose.
And she says, "Okay. I mean, I was just,
But and I'm like, the curiosity is so much.
I'm not saying I want y'all to bite me, but
how bad would I get hurt, Lauren?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. This is a new spell.
Would it kill me?
I don't think so, but maybe, you know what? Maybe let's just, if it happens, if I ever, yeah, I don't want to accidentally kill you. This is a new spell, so yeah.
All right. So we're getting a little off topic, but this is a great meeting. I absolutely love it. Does anyone have any thoughts, comments, questions, regrets, anything going on?
Mikhail says, I will look into this Dexter, see if perhaps there's a reason, if the prince can be said to have a reason for anything, if there's a reason he might have chosen this man. But as I said, unless he is deserving, I won't kill him or be a part of killing him. In fact, I would simply say right now, I'll stop you. And he says that to the room. Imogen says, and I'm not doing anything without the prince's. I'm not doing that without the prince's blessing, but I can try to get it. I'm not on that great of speaking. I mean, I've got the prince doesn't dislike me, but I'm also not friends with him or anything. But I could also I think I'd be better off talking to the chantry and seeing if anyone knows how to create one of these simulacrons, and we can go from there. We might even be able, if it's to save his life, this Dexter guy might even be fine with just giving us some fresh blood. I'm pretty sure it probably needs to be fresh. We could try it with the steak, but that blood is probably old by now.
Yeah. I look at Lauren and I say, anything on your mind?
I mean, if you guys can create a vampire clone, I'm definitely willing to try it. The Coven back in Ireland is still looking into things. There are some... We would rather try the ritual again versus trying some of the other options. Because the other options are a lot more unpleasant for those involved.
And I say, on a side note, how does your coven feel about you meeting with a bunch of vampires?
They told me to be careful.
Understandable.
But we're free to do as we wish. Do they like that I'm... Well, I didn't tell them about this meeting. They probably would have strongly advised me against being in a room with a bunch of vampires, but you guys seem cool.
All right.
But yeah, we've got some other options if performing the ritual again doesn't work. There are some more extreme things we can try, and there's no guarantee any of those will work. I don't think this guy's going to like them, so I'm not going to go into detail, and she kind of motions at Mikhail. Let's just say witchcraft is not pretty.
Well, neither is the vampire life.
And
the vampire unlife.
Yeah.
And I say, well, we all have each other's numbers, and I look at Imogen and go, how do we get in touch with you? Because I know I've been texting your, what's it called?
Jerry? Or no? With Imogen?
Yeah, with Imogen, because Imogen's not good with technology, so she can't text.
No,
so
Imogen is fine.
text...
Imogen's fine with technology. It's Cole's sire that, and Cole's...
Imogen is Bill's sire. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, it was flipped in my mind.
Yeah.
And I say, all right, well, we all have each other's numbers, right?
Everyone agrees.
Okay, well, and I look at the time, and I go, it's getting kind of close to knockout time for us vampires.
Oh, yeah, I bet you guys don't like to be out in the daytime. That makes sense. I've seen them. So it's not like Twilight.
Definitely not. No, it's a lot less stupid teenager-esque.
She's like, well, that's too bad. And she looks at Cole as she says this. It would have been nice to go to a picnic, under the sun or something. But that's fine.
I look at Cole and I go, could do one under the moon. Next full moon.
Well, maybe not the next one. We're going to be busy, I think.
The one after. Celebratory full moon. There we go.
As long as no weird governmental lockdowns or something happen by then. She doesn't say that.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that would be April. And I feel like the lockdowns happen before April. Maybe in April. Actually, I should Google that just so I know when it happens. It's supposed to happen in game. When did the COVID lockdown start? in the U.S.? March 15th. Okay. It was March
We got a
15th.
while.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Let me check in Texas. Because other states, I think, locked down before Texas.
Yeah. Texas was one of the last states.
Maybe it was March. Everything's saying March. In Texas, local lockdown orders began early and mid-March. Okay, so it was March. Now I just want to look at something real quick. March. Yeah, I believe probably the lockdown started on the 15th or 16th because we had a party the weekend before the lockdown. As a, we're about to be not allowed to do things, we're having a party. Why did this guy... Sorry, responding to a message.
Oh, you're good. I'm just
Okay.
looking at my Colt that I have 3 bumps in.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much useless.
It can do stuff. This is just this is uncharted territories.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lauren says she's gonna head home and she will bring this information to the Coven, see what they think about vampire clone guy, and she kind of heads out, lingers around Cole for a minute and like pauses near him. And Frank, are you even still awake?
Yes.
Okay, you've just been quiet. Lingers near Cole for a minute, and she's like, "Everything been good with you? I haven't heard from you in a while."
I missed the conversation up to this point.
No, you're fine. She's leaving, and she stops, and it's like, "Everything good with you? I haven't heard from you since in a while." And you've been distracted from voices, so you haven't been texting her.
Yeah, I sent you a toast emoji and the eggplant, not eggplant, the dolphin, not dolphin.
Yeah, I mean that was just
2 seconds
now.
ago.
Yeah,
I was
now. I mean, like
I was trying to ask you, see if you want to go grab like some food or something. I wanted to talk to you for a minute.
Oh fuck yeah, let's go.
I mean, I can't eat the food, but I'll sit with you while you eat food.
I mean, isn't the sun about to come up? Do you want to try this like tomorrow night?
Yeah, let's do this tomorrow night.
Okay. She's like, she texts you and says it's a date, and then she's gonna head out.
I look at Cole and I say,
I forgot.
Blush of life. Keep a blush of life in your pants, bro.
I don't know what that means.
When she walks out.
You want to be in my pants?
By the way, I'm saying tomorrow because Frank is clearly passing out, and it's also pretty late. So.
Oh, I'm awake. I'm awake now. You said my name, so I said up.
No, you're good.
I was on the edge, and now I'm awake again.
It's time for me to go take a shower anyway.
Yeah.
But because I am covered in pesticide.
All right. I guess Max for the night. Well, is he allowed to go back to where Tiv is being detained? He asked Mikhail.
Mikhail says, I don't know if they'd let you see her, but you're certainly allowed on the grounds.
Like inside?
In the dojo, yes.
Preferably?
If you're looking for a new place to sleep, they could definitely accommodate you. Just keep in mind, the more... Again, as I've said before, I'm not trying to force any decisions on you, but the more hospitality you take from the clan, the more they will assume that you are going to follow in one of the traditional paths, become a full-fledged member of the clan. Right now, you're in a
Have they even accepted me as a part of the clan yet? That's the real question, considering they're planning on murdering.
There is that will probably come up in the trial, but also you are in a unique case in which you weren't embraced the right way, and as I've said before, if you choose to leave the clan, no one will stop you.
Oh.
I mean, obviously you can't change the clan in your blood, but you don't have to participate in being a member of the clan if you choose not to. And right now you're in a sort of a limbo state with certain advantages. If you I'm not saying that spending the night at the dojo will make them automatically think you're joining a clan, but right now you're sort of in a state where the clan rules don't fully apply to you.
So no slumber parties.
You're not officially a member of the clan yet.
Yeah, and I think Mikhail would pick up that Max is like still very pissy about them even contemplating about killing Tiv.
Yeah, I mean, Mikhail doesn't really show emotions, but he's not happy about it either, so.
Yeah. Was Lauren around for that conversation?
No, she's gone.
Okay, I didn't care if she was, but then, and I, real quick before we end the
Imogen
session,
is
and
kind of like awkwardly standing around, but.
Yeah, and I turned to Imogen real quick and I go, I said something in the very beginning of the meeting that you showed a reaction to. I couldn't tell if it was positive or negative. My comment was playing into the hands of the prince. Did I misspeak? And I also look at Mikhail when I say that to see if I get any like, don't be a bad boy and disrespect the prince kind of vibes.
You get nothing from Mikhail, although he does.
Of course, Mikhail is a steely, cold boy.
He does lock eyes with Imogen, and Imogen says, I serve the Camarilla, and which means I serve the prince. And I won't do anything that goes against that. That's what my reaction was. Playing into the hands of the prince. I understand that the prince is a hard prince to follow, and I'm not saying I like everything he does, including being forced to embrace Jerry. But I'm also not willing to damage both my own and my clan's tentative place in the Camarilla. And she looks over at Mikhail and says, I think you would understand that as well. The Banu Hakim are even in a less have an even less solid position than the Tremere within the Camarilla. And Mikhail nods and he says, we are good at maintaining the status quo. We're not worried, but I do know what you mean. The Banu Hakim only recently joined with... Well, did they? I might be getting them mixed up with the Slumber. Whatever. The Banu Hakim only recently joined with the Camarilla. But you're right. It would look bad on our prospective clans to blatantly go rebel against the prince. But that's not what he's talking about here. He's talking about correcting a wrong. And from what I've been able to tell, the prince doesn't even care about this newborn. He cares about the abomination that was created that same night. And Imogen chuckles at that and says, I don't know if I'd call him an abomination, more of a curiosity. And Mikhail just shrugs.
We're talking about the vampire, right?
We're talking about the strange man Lawrence, who was created in some way outside the embrace. Technically,
wait, we created a vampire out of thin air.
From what I understand, Lawrence was never. Lawrence was not fed the blood after death. The rumors going around is that he tasted of Olivia's blood before he died, which shouldn't have worked. That would have made him a ghoul, not a vampire. When he died, he should have died. Considering a witch was involved, perhaps that has something to do with it. He glances over at Imogen, and Imogen shrugs and says, I've got no experience with human witches.
I wonder what. When I say, I wonder if Lauren has like magic books or anything like that. Imogen, does your clan deal with magic books at all?
She chuckles and she's like, oh, we've got a entire... You'll have to ask Jerry about it sometime. He's been there. Actually, speaking of this clan stuff, she glances over at Mikhail and she says, I'm not trying to steal him away or anything, but in the past, members of the Banu Hakim have been accepted into the Chantry when they were outcast from their clan. You could feasibly gain entrance. You don't even necessarily have to leave the clan since you are friends with a member of our clan. Jerry may be able to speak for you and get you into our libraries. And considering we have a common goal of solving this issue, I would also speak on your behalf.
I say I would really appreciate that to happen, and I highly doubt it's going to happen anytime soon, since bureaucracy is a thing. I say, but I think for tonight I'm going to go back to the dojo and be as close to my sire as possible.
And she nods and says, well, I guess I'm going to... She glances at her clock and at her watch and she's like, yeah, I'm going to get out of here. It's time to go. And it's probably it's definitely 4 a.m. by now.
Yeah. And as she's walking out, I say, thanks again, Imogen, for coming by. I really do appreciate it.
Says, of course. By the way, do you know where the hell Jerry is? No,
I woke up
don't.
Yeah, and I say, I woke up in a ceiling, and that's where I've been sleeping for a while, up in the ceiling. Just as a joke, honestly. But I woke up, and he just wasn't there. So I don't know, no, and he hasn't responded to any of the texts I sent him.
Wait,
Well,
Max,
right,
you're still in the ceiling?
And I look over at Cole, I'm like, damn, dude, you're silent as shit. And I say, yeah, I still sleep in the ceiling. I need to find a place of my own.
Has Jerry not offered you a bed yet? Like, bro, I have a townhouse with 2 extra bedrooms if you need one.
I might take you up on that after tonight, but we'll see.
I mean, you wouldn't have to go to the dojo and be, some in a weird limbo state with the not cult, fucking clan. Yeah.
I say, well, I appreciate the offer, but my sire, I know I can't do anything for my sire at the moment, but it would make me feel better if I was showing her as much loyalty at the moment as I possibly can.
All right. Well, just so you know, I have a coffin with your name on it.
I appreciate that. Oh, by the way, how did that thing go?
We can talk once everybody's gone.
Well, Imogen is gone. Mikhail is standing around, but he says, oh, I suppose I can go.
And I say, anything you can say to me, you can say to Mikhail.
Mikhail's your sire.
And I say, Mikhail was there.
Oh. Okay. Well, he's definitely dead. There's no doubt about
Good.
it. I'm pretty sure he also kidnapped somebody at some point. Is that about accurate?
He's been doing that. Did you ever look in the freezer?
Yeah. It was full of meat. It tasted like
human
blood.
meat.
Oh, that makes sense why it tasted like blood. That being said,
the guy was a psychopath. He murders women.
Well, I have some videos you might want to see. I hand him. I took out the USB and hand to him. I was like, the most recent date one is the one you might want to check out. It's your prime time.
I have a lot of those running around. Bullshit.
Well,
Hey,
this
but
one
you know what?
it should be the only copy minus the one I've got back at my place.
Okay.
I didn't want to watch it just in case you kind of got freaky with them or whatever, but I didn't have much time to get in and get out, so I just copied the files and deleted the originals. And I figured leaving the laptop so that they can find the evidence is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I left the video playing on repeat in the office, so
Which video?
The not the most recent one. That one's deleted, but I whatever.
Oh, just a random video of him murdering someone?
Yeah.
Good. Good.
I also put some like tissues off to the side, kind of wadded them up.
Roll me a technology plus intelligence. I mean, you're gonna get this, but unless you crit fail, just technology plus intelligence. Okay. Now you. Okay, I don't know what that would mean, but no, I was just seeing to see if you remembered to also empty the recycle bin. You definitely emptied
Yeah.
the recycle bin, yeah.
That video is completely deleted.
Yeah.
I actually had that thought after I made it to the meeting,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? If it comes up, then I'll mention it. But
Right.
yeah, it's. I feel like I would have done more than just put it in the recycle bin and
you
empty
did.
the recycle bin.
You did, something more than just that to delete this thing. There is no
Yeah.
chance of recovering
He
that
went-
video.
Yeah, he went into the hard drive and
Yeah.
deleted it.
Yeah, it's gone forever.
There's
So
no-
Bleach split it.
No chance.
you're
of
solid. You're solid, but there's some weird snuff porn on there. I don't know if
I can imagine.
you wanted that, but there's like a couple hundred
Nope.
videos.
Nope.
Well,
The
I know
purpose was to get
I
the
know a
purpose of this
guy.
was to get rid of that stain.
I know a guy that knows a guy that runs a site for stuff like that. So I'm.
And I look at Mikhail. I'm like, next target?
He doesn't do any of it. He just videos are found.
You know a
Yeah,
man
he'll-
who runs
he'll-
a site of a man murdering women?
No, a snuff site.
Oh,
Like it's
No,
a deep web type thing where they sell subscriptions and they receive like stuff from people to post on the site. No murdering is actually occurring on the site. It's just a snuff site.
What is a snuff site? Because I have a different understanding, I think.
I don't think he means they're snuffing out their lives. I think that's just a term for a, dark web porn site.
Yeah.
But
I mean, because it's
no,
naked
Mikhail-
women. So
Yeah.
I saw a half naked woman getting pulled out of the thing. You killed them. I assume there was some sort of murdery rape bullshit going on. So, I got the videos. If he enjoys the video, or not enjoys
or
it, but if he
Mikhail
thinks they'll
does
work,
speak up and he says this video or this website shows videos of the women getting murdered.
I haven't actually looked at the site. I just know of a guy that knows a guy that runs a site for snuff videos. People getting
What do I
snuffed.
need to
Find
people
me-
people getting
roll?
snuffed. People getting snuffed out. Like
I see.
like-
Yes, I would like this website.
And I roll. Let's see if I roll. It would be technology plus wits
For what?
to see if because I'm seeing if I worked in a giant corporation.
Uh-huh.
So would I ever had to deal with someone getting around firewalls and basically watch? Because I know there's plenty of cases where people have watched porn on.
this is like dark web shit. Like
No,
Yeah, but
definitely you
have they ever gone on the dark web? And that's a part of me having to be HR and be like, you broke some major rules.
I mean, you can roll for it.
What would it? What would the roll be?
Can you put a negative modifier on that? Because I feel like that's
So-
not something the average Joe would be looking
Yeah,
at like work.
I don't think you'd have any. Well, just give me so memory roll is composure plus resolve.
With a negative modifier of like 1.
Yeah.
Where's
Oh.
composure?
They're both composure is under the social traits and resolve is the mental
Yeah.
traits. Yeah.
I'm just trying to find composure.
In the top the sets of 3.
Oh. Composure and resolve.
I mean, he pays good money to get the videos.
3 successes, and I did put in a -1.
I mean, you've
So-
had some guy. You've had a case of like someone probably looking at some pretty illegal stuff. Maybe not
Murder porn.
But I mean the concept of it is not alien to you, in that such
Yeah.
thing certainly would exist on somewhere on the internet, as does
Real
almost
quick.
anything. Mikhail does want the website.
Real quick,
I
there was a movie came out a while back about like people that got abducted and taken to this place, and they were like videoed while they were murdered or like just tortured and
Right.
shit. Y'all remember that movie?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
I'm basing my understanding of how like dark the human psyche can be, and assuming that there is a dark web type website for something like this.
Oh, I would
don't
have.
actually
Yeah.
have.
Oh, there is.
I don't. I'm aware that you I hope that you don't know of such a site in real life, but
I just want to put that out there for all
Yes.
the listeners.
Yes.
I don't know if this is an actual thing, but understanding human psyche, there more than likely is this actual thing out there somewhere in
yeah,
the dark web.
and I'm sure Cole doesn't
No.
even know the address off the top of his head. But Mikhail's like, give me that address so I can look into this.
Yeah, if you could not murder the guy who runs it until after I get my finder's fee of the videos, that would be
Unless the
really
man
appreciated.
the man who runs it does the murdering himself, he's safe from me.
I do not know if he does or not. Do you mind if I give it to you in like a week? Because usually he gets back to me, or he should get back to me within like a couple of days. Will that be okay?
That's fine. There's no urgency on this. It's just
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
if there are videos,
totally
they could
find and murder the people that are doing the murdering. I completely agree. But if I can get the finder's fee out of it, that'd be awesome.
Fine.
Like yeah, he pays like a couple hundred to a couple thousand per video. Like if it's a good video, so like I can even cut you in on this. If we could track them down, find the whole stash of videos, and see what he'll get out of it. Like we can make this little enterprise.
We will talk about that later. Yeah.
Cool, because it can be pretty lucrative. Like, yeah, we're sharing murder porn, but
Well, I'm not going to allow. Well,
because it's already happened.
If I can
It's
use him,
videotape.
if I can use him to lead me to the murderers, I don't really care what happens to the money. Don't get me wrong; I'll take a cut. I've got expenses, but
Well, yeah, I mean, straight up, we can do this like a 70-40. Like you track it down, kill it, call me in. I'll go in and pull any videos I can find, sell it back to the guy, and then we can just make the big circle around it. Actually, you know what? Because of my abilities with hacking and shit, I could probably just find the submitters and track it myself and give you the information.
Yeah.
and he nods and says,
Going through
"We'll-"
Tor and Onion.
He says, "We'll talk," and then you hear his watch. It's starts like a little high pitched, quiet beeping, and he looks down at his watch and it says, "It's time for me to go. Max, we'll discuss more tomorrow night." And then, unless one of you has anything else to say, he straight up just vanishes.
Can I retroactively say that I've got 2 USBs with these videos on it?
Yeah, that's fine.
I offer him one
Okay.
for use in tracking down families or whatever if he needs.
Oh,
if
you
he
have
would
2
need us to do
extras?
that.
I just assume you meant one for Hayden and one for
Yeah, one for each of them. I have like a copy at the house on my own personal hard drive. But like
I don't
want
know
to
why
give
you
him
would have
one.
brought two USBs with you in that case, but I mean, he can always get it from Hayden. From
I think
Okay.
he always has US. I think he wears cargo pants, and one cargo pant side is just completely full of USBs.
We
I
already
guess on the
talked about
drive home.
how.
Yeah, on the
Oh
drive
wait,
home,
no,
you
I'm
would have
sorry.
had time to make multiple copies. So sure, you give it to both
Yeah.
of them.
Okay, so each of them have a USB with all the hundreds of murder porn from this
Yeah.
guy. So either one for the guy, so that if he wants to track down families and send condolences, or the videos, or
Of course, yeah.
just give them whatever closure.
Yeah. And then he takes the USB, says goodnight, and then blinks out of the room.
And I say, "Well, I'm off to the dojo." And Cole,
Yeah.
do we? Sorry, this is
I
not a.
text.
This is
I,
a
I
game of
text
question.
I text you the address of my house, so if you need to come crash, you are
Yeah.
welcome to.
And then so this is a out of game question, but do the vampires use blush of life like that's an actual term?
Yes.
Okay. And I say, well, keep the blush of life in handy. And I say, thanks for everything and thanks for the invite. But I gotta go if I make it to the dojo in time.
Yeah, no
And
worries.
I leave.
I go back to my place of residency.
All right. And
If I've got time, whenever I get home, I want to try to quickly hack into the cloud and delete any video of that night.
okay, give me technology plus intelligence.
Just because I want to get it done before the wife thinks
You know
to
what?
look at
It
it.
just occurred to me. I believe. Let me check your character sheet real quick. Yeah, you did choose hacking as one of your specialties, so technically anytime you're hacking, you've got a +1 bonus. But 5 successes without any bonuses, that's enough to do it.
Cool.
Yeah. So just,
All right.
yeah,
So
future
I
reference
hack in.
that, yeah.
I watch the video, what little video of Hayden on the cameras there is, and I delete just that
Yeah.
video.
This time there wasn't much. You catch a glimpse of the back of his head, but that's about it. And you kind of you catch yeah, he was stealthy about it, so he never really got caught on those cameras. Definitely there's video of the camera suddenly being knocked down and thrown across, but it never shows his face in any of it.
Cool.
Now on the one on the hidden camera, of course he was all over that, but yeah.
You know what? I think a vigilante out there hunting murderers is a good thing to have out there. So if you can't tell jack shit about Max, then I might just leave that on the cloud.
Okay.
I probably text Max and make sure that's cool.
I don't want any more ideas from the Second Crusade. So,
Shit.
because if
okay.
Anything
they know the back of my head.
they might, yeah.
That's a
You
point.
never did
Okay, yeah,
anything
I delete the
supernatural,
video.
but yeah. At least
I delete the video.
Yeah.
I don't think the Second Crusade cares that I'm being
yeah.
vigilante and murdering murderers.
All right, well, I delete the video then.
All right, the video is gone from the cloud and anywhere else.
That's not how the cloud works.
Huh?
I don't know how the cloud works. I'm just assuming that's not how the cloud works, because everything's backed up in the cloud.
Well, you deleted the backups.
I want to delete the cloud.
Bleach bit.
Well, deleting the cloud itself is probably more complicated than a 5 success. That's probably what I would call. And, of course, I also am aware that there's... Well, you can't really delete the cloud without finding the... Because
okay,
you're right. There are...
I probably have a worm set up that I'm just kind of keeping in my back pocket.
Yeah.
So I just go in there and change the code around a little bit just to hunt for that video.
But, no, you can definitely delete specific videos on the cloud. It hasn't been dispersed across the internet or anything. So.
Okay. All right. In which case, I just go ahead and delete that video.
Yeah. Man, that video is gone.
You know what? I need to try to see if I can. Hold on. Well, I'll have to. Fuck. I'm gonna say I do it now, but I want to see if I can make that worm go and hunt down any other videos with the words of triggers of like Max that day that time, or Vampire that day that time, or anything else, any combination thereof that I think there might be.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be like a negative modifier of like 3 because there's no way I can think of all the.
Well, just go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Because this may be a success over time type of deal. So you've got 2 successes banked towards it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I released that first version, and
Okay.
I'm just trying to wipe what little of what I can think of out there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
All right.
I lay in my coffin.
Okay. Do you actually have a coffin?
I feel like I would think it was funny in a very sadistic kind of way. So yes, I actually have a coffin.
You had to order it on Amazon probably because Carmen would have just provided you with a bed.
See, I feel like I wouldn't have gone for okay. The problem is that nowadays, like, we don't use coffins, we use caskets.
Yeah.
If you want an actual coffin, you either have to get it specially made, specially ordered, or like go out to like a resale shop or antiques dealer and see if you can locate an actual coffin. Because the coffin is the thing that's shaped coffin-esque, whereas the casket is what's used nowadays.
Okay, so you want a real coffin.
Yeah, like a freaking 1940s, the vampire... Oh god, what was that vampire movie? Oh, shit.
I mean, we know what you're talking about when you say coffin, so...
Vampire movie name. It's the one where the dude, like... No, that's not it. The Return of the Vampire? No. Shit. It's the one, like, the super fake-ass, like, vampire movie.
Okay.
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
I gotta go to the bathroom, guys. So
Okay, well, let's close it out. I was your storyteller, Ron Bjork, and with me tonight was Hayden.
hey, this session was full of a lot of interesting stuff, and I'm excited to see where it goes and furthering the plot.
And we also had Frank.
Hi, I was Frank, and I also played Cole. My coffin also has a hinge, and it's padded inside. It's not just a wooden box.
Nice.
You can find me sometimes streaming on social media sites like Twitch, or recently on what was that other one? I don't know. It's a different one. I don't play as much since the whole cancer thing, but I'm planning on getting back into it. So if you see me out there, my tag is FK Lightcastle, I believe.
And you can find me on Twitter at Beryllium1, and you can find our show at IDM Roleplay. You can also email us at idmroleplay@gmail.com and send us any of your how much we inspired you to play vampire or scared you away from playing vampire. And
how many of y'all have fallen asleep
how
to
many
listen to us?
how many times you've been offended by our jokes, and maybe we'll have a Patreon when this episode comes out, and
more than likely everybody who's listening to this is like, yeah, there's no way in hell we're subscribing to their Patreon, but it gets better, we promise.
yeah, it does start to get better. The audio sounds better, and I think we just get better at playing our characters. And you've also, by the time you get to this episode, you've listened to a season of our D&D game as well. So there's
Which
that.
one?
Stranded. That's gonna be season 2.
That's a good one. You should go back and listen to that if you haven't already.
It'd be strange if
Like-
you skipped.
If you started at this episode, then you need to go back and listen to the first season, which is the first Vampire the Masquerade, and then come back, listen to this one, and then go to the second season. That's the proper
Yes.
progression of how this should be listened.
Right, yeah.
If you're listening in real time, then you're just fucked.
And there's going to be some bonus episodes in between each season of like the other stuff we play. So you can
and listen to the bloopers. Listen to the
bloopers.
bloopers.
Yep.
And
This
ignore.
might be in the bloopers, you know.
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
And good night.
It should be bloopers like put on season 2. It's like blooper reel. It might be on our Patreon. We'll know more once this comes out.
Yeah.
Night.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording now.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks everyone for listening. The intro and outro songs you heard today was Foxhole Revolution, created by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license, creativecommons.com, licenses by 4.0. The night is over, and have a great day, everyone.